you guys! Welcome today, Tender Shadowwalker.
I feel like I could have come up with a better one, but you know, after
Probably.
doing such a cancerous intro, I feel as if I want to find the nearest bridge. Okay, so let's get right into I almost said right into the news. Let's get right into the topic.
All right. Hey guys, it's Ender Shadowwalker, and today I'm joined by Wooley. Say hi.
Hello.
And today, if you couldn't guess, we're going to talk about intros, personalities, and some of our favorite YouTubers. So let's get into it.
So let's start this off with intros. Personally, I feel like intros are sometimes the definition of idiocy and also cancer as well, because either they're a good intro, but then it's hard to do that intro. For example, me, I took about 3-5 minutes trying to do my intro. And but when it comes to idiotic intros, people tend to either be too enthusiastic, under enthusiastic, or they aren't saying the correct things and it doesn't make much sense. So what's your input on intros, Ender?
My big input is, for me, I like people. You do an intro, it's pretty much like, hey, this is what I'm doing. You jump right into the game. Now that's a lot of how my intros go. I know some people, well, they will do a 20-minute intro, or they'll do a 20-second intro. Excuse me. That means
A
every
20-minute
right.
intro. That'd
That's
be too much.
That's what it feels like. But it's like every single video you have to like. And it's gotten to the point where you don't watch the watch the intro. You just skip the 25 seconds ahead.
Yeah.
So something quick and just like boom, you're into the video is my personal, and like your intro takes 10 seconds, whatever. But if it's the same thing every single time, lasting like like I said, 20 minutes long, it gets old after a while.
Yeah. And personally, what I like when it comes to intros, I feel like a good way to open it up, and I know a lot of people don't do this. Two good ways I personally think opening up an intro is don't do an intro at all, or even when you're doing an intro, don't say something for your intro. Some people have like a graphic for their intro or animation or something. Not everyone can get that. There's templates for that. I personally don't like those. I personally don't think those should be even considered intros, just because, But some people, it requires to get a template. So, for anyone who wants to get a template, that's also a thing you can do for intros as well.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah. But some people decide to do intros where it takes a long time, like you said. And the thing is that some people are a little too enthusiastic as they start. And then some people, when they do their intros, they talk a little bit about what's going to happen in the video, or they just talk about something else for a little bit before they get in the actual video. And that annoys me.
Does it?
It does. Like, I personally like it when, like, if you have any extra to say, save it for the end. Like, because I don't think I'll stay for the end. But
Right.
but you know what? I don't want you to waste my time. I'm trying to watch your video, and you're wasting my time by talking about something else that isn't related to the video. It's like, just stop it. Just stop. But, to each his own, I suppose. I think it just depends on the person you're watching. I feel like if your intro's terrible, your whole channel's terrible, and your video's terrible. I'm just kidding now, but sometimes that's actually true.
And in some cases it can be.
Yeah. It's just like, have you ever heard of Stomedy?
I have not.
Yeah, I haven't heard of Stomedy. I recommend everyone look up this kid Stomedy. He's most definitely the best YouTuber in the world. He's definitely better than PewDiePie, and he's just the best.
Shots fired.
Yeah, he's just the best guy ever. I mean, just look at this man. He's the pinnacle of amazing and just intelligence and just being so likable and interesting. You can't you can't get away from this man. He's just too good. But in all seriousness, he is the definition of idiocy. And his intro is actually a pre-made intro. It's a template that he paid for, I believe. It definitely looks like something you'd have to pay for, even though intros this level are pretty, available for anyone for free.
Right.
But I feel like what matters most though is, of course their intro. That's the first thing that grabs you, of course.
Right.
But what really matters is your personality.
I think that's massive, and I really think that to today's standards, that's really just people don't necessarily people automatically put YouTubers in that, like, oh, that person's fake, they're being over enthusiastic,
Exactly.
and I think a lot of people think that people on YouTube are completely fake. I
Yeah,
really
yeah,
do.
yeah. And honestly, for me, and that does make sense because I mean, I don't want to say that PewDiePie is not like someone cool to watch or whatever. I most definitely watch PewDiePie here and there, and I think that his content's okay sometimes. The thing is, though, is that PewDiePie is so big on YouTube to the point that no matter what he does, and no matter how his personality is, by this point, he is going to get views and he's going to get revenue money no matter what. So,
Right.
but anyways. His personality, I don't want to say necessarily it's fake, but let's say, for example, if you're watching one of his scary videos, he's doing a scary gameplay or something, you can't tell me that his reactions are real. You can't tell me they're real. Only time that I laughed during one of his scary videos, it was a recent one. It was during Layers of Fear he was doing. And specifically, I can't remember what episode it was, but I remember the specifics in the video that he had said that it was night and it was late. So he didn't want to make too much noise because he has neighbors and he didn't want to be rude. And there was this one scary part that affected him to the point to where he has a standing desk, right? It affected him to the point to where he literally dropped to the ground, and that was literally the funniest thing I've ever seen from one of his scary videos. And most of his scary videos are a little, I guess you could say, staged in my opinion.
Right. Well, and I
But
think I think to a point, it has to be, especially when you have a
yeah,
camera,
exactly. Yes,
because
yes,
when you're sitting down and you're playing your game and it's kind of just a nonchalant kind of atmosphere, you're
yeah,
not going to sit there and go oh oh every time. You're
yeah.
going to sit there, you jump a little bit. You're like, all right, let's get back into this. So to an extent, in every game, you have to add that over enthusiastic, just like, oh, that was so scary, because people don't want to sit there and watch you go, oh, yeah, all right. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
don't necessarily think that that's, my opinion is I don't think that that's intertwined with somebody's personality. I think they're just trying to up the viewer count.
Yeah, yeah, and that's honestly, that's what the viewers want to see. I mean, PewDiePie is just catering to his audience. He has a
Right.
huge audience. He has a huge following, so he has to cater to them. It's sort of if he wants to or not at this point. So he overdoes his reactions sometimes, and you can speak for that in other YouTubers, like maybe Markiplier sometimes. I don't watch Markiplier much, but I guess you could also apply it to him. I think you could also apply it to Jacksepticeye too, but not as much. I feel like the two big YouTubers, in my opinion, who do it the most is probably Markiplier and PewDiePie, or at least for ones that I personally know. I don't know any other YouTubers who do as much as them. Like I don't know any other ones that do it so enthusiastically, over enthusiastically, and stuff like that. I don't know any other ones right off the top of my head, but those two I feel like do it just out of the ballpark. And I feel like also they're catering to different audiences. PewDiePie is catering to just tons of people, but Markiplier, I've seen Markiplier, and it seems more like his channel's probably for younger audiences. I'm not saying PewDiePie isn't either, but PewDiePie is he's really general. Like he does he does a lot of different genres and stuff on his channel at once to where he can cater to a lot of different people. And his reactions and the way how he acts, I feel like it can cater to a lot of people. But someone like Markiplier or someone like him, I feel like he's catering to someone younger.
And I think a lot of people actually, I think when people automatically see a gaming channel, they will automatically put that in kind of the that that will go for kind of the younger audience. The thing is a lot of his stuff, he actually a lot of the topics he goes over can be in depth.
Yeah,
They're not necessarily young, but I think because a lot of people have a bias on YouTube. A
true,
lot of
true.
people have a bias. I think they automatically put some people in some categories. Um, and Markiplier is one of the ones we were talking about favorite YouTubers. Markiplier is actually my favorite YouTuber, along with Jacksepticeye. Uh, and there are many reasons behind that, and a lot of people would call me childish, mostly because I am. But I think
Hey, hey, we all have our own inner child.
right, but I think I think each their own of who they like, who they don't like. For
Yeah, yeah,
me, I mean, I started watching Markiplier and Jacksepticeye both at the same, not necessarily at the same point. I started watching Markiplier back when he almost had only a couple thousand subscribers. So
yeah,
I think that's like once you have that one dedicated person, you have them for the rest of your YouTube channel.
yeah,
And that's kind of like I don't watch all of everybody's videos. There are some that I'll skip over.
yeah,
And if it's one of those games of like, well, Jacksepticeye and then Mark played I'll watch it if I enjoyed the game. If I didn't enjoy the game, it doesn't matter their reactions or otherwise if I want to watch it.
yeah. Like, if anything, I feel like it personally matters that which video of them you're watching.
Right.
Like for Markiplier, I've tried giving Markiplier a few chances to watch him, but my big problem with him isn't necessarily his personality. It's part of it, but one of the big things is I don't like the majority of games he plays. The majority of games he's played don't really appeal to me that much. And like if those games appeal to anyone else, I mean he's been playing a lot of games that appeal to a lot of people, just personally not me, and I don't mind. For someone like PewDiePie though, PewDiePie plays a bunch of little games and does 5 minute little videos and stuff on a daily basis, and a bunch of random games. His channel is more based around his personality and what he does, not necessarily what he's playing sometimes. Like sometimes he does let's plays on a good game and stuff, and those videos I'll watch for both his personality and especially because the game is good. But when it comes to the game and you're not playing a good game, you have to have a super good personality to me. And his personality is okay, but I can't force myself through a okay personality when I don't like the game.
Right. Yeah, and that's something. I mean, your favorite, no matter what it is, if it's favorite food or things like that, is your it will be your interests, and it will be
Yeah.
it will be what you like. Y- Um, and that's a lot of reasons why some people don't watch YouTube is because, well, nothing I can find appeals to you. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
There's millions of other things in this world. Like, I mean, for you and I, for instance, I mean, we're talking here now. Somebody might not find that very appealing. They'll continue on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, about 80% of the people that don't find this appealing will probably just leave hate comments because that's YouTube.
Yeah.
But if my big thing is if you don't like it, don't have to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just how it goes. And honestly, everyone should accept it at this point that, people are going to hate, people are not going to like certain things. And, you're right that some people aren't going to, even for this video, people aren't going to go like, I don't know if I like this kind of podcast sort of style. But,
Right.
there's a majority of people who do like each different genre of things. So, it doesn't matter what it is, what you're posting, there's going to be a sort of group that'll like your content,
Right.
even if people don't like it. So, but for me personally, I feel like probably one of the like one of my favorite YouTubers, probably that's big and as well known as PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye is probably Cryotic. I feel like in my opinion, he's one of the realest. Just because he doesn't ever overreact. He's literally chill throughout all his videos. The thing why I like him a lot is because since he's chill, he speaks his mind throughout the game about random things he likes about the game, or just anything like that. And sometimes he's a little quiet, and I don't mind that personally. He plays a lot of really good games as well, and he provides good gaming content and good gameplay and stuff like that. So I can tolerate the footage. But what he says and his personality, I like a lot. I mean, maybe it's just me that I like his personality, but I personally feel like he's more real, just because he doesn't ever try to. It doesn't seem like he tries to force a reaction on anything. It always seems really genuine.
Right, and yeah, and there are some of I'm trying to think back. There are some of the animations that they've done where it's been like a horror game, and you have people like Cinnamon Toast Ken. You've got PewDiePie, give that dramatic. You have Markiplier, and you've got Jacksepticeye, and then you have people like Cry, where it's just kind of like, oh, hi there. You have a jump scare, somebody scream in their face, and they're just like, hey, what's up? you know not trying
Yeah.
to add that extra fun factor. And something I massively respect, like Ethos Lab, who's a Minecrafter, and people like that don't show their face.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you get to build that mystery. You get to,
Exactly.
somebody creates a picture in their mind of how cool this
Yeah.
guy
Yeah.
is. And then I think it was like Leafy. Leafy showed his face, and I mean, people went wild because that's not who they had thought he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, oh, you've disappointed me and stuff like
And
that.
now, yeah, now his face is a living meme.
Right, right,
But like, yeah, not showing, like, it doesn't matter if people want to show their face or not. In my opinion, I think showing your face, depending on what kind of videos you're doing, showing your face can be a good thing, or just it relates to the video that you need to do. But if you don't need to show your face, I don't think it's necessarily a good idea, because you want people to base their idea on you by your personality, not your face.
right,
You don't want them to look at you and then stereotype you right off the bat just by your looks. You want them to stereotype you and base you on something by how you talk, your personality, and then they might stereotype you in something good, something that appeals to them, and then they like that.
right.
Some people might not like the quote unquote stereotype that you sort of are,
Right.
but if people just look at you right off the bat off of a camera and they don't like what they see, that might discourage people from watching the video.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's our input on YouTubers, their personalities, about face reveals even, and intros, which are literally the definition of just idiocy, again. But all of y'all have a good day. That's all the time we have for today. It was nice having you on, Ender.
Thank you.
And I hope all of y'all have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. And also, don't forget to go in the description and check out Ender here. We'll see you later.
See ya.